Darillo. Though we're still going for Elven note, and then we're going to return to the Storyteller. These demons bothering me? Damn, Koch. He's a powerful one. Elven notes, and we're going to immediately return to the Storyteller, and then we will have to fix the problem called Lexicon of Paradox. I read in a Reddit thread that apparently it is possible for the Queen to give it back to you, but nothing happened, so that's a bit odd. Maybe it will happen once we talk to the Storyteller and find out about the rest of his story.
We do it my way.
I found the last page. The Storyteller clenches the pages you brought. His voice becomes a bit younger and more energetic. The purple flame covers my eyes. I cannot turn away. It follows my gaze. I cannot close my eyes. It will follow there too. The heart of the tower burned out my sight, and I'm not sure I will ever be able to see my dear Golarion again. Wounded, groaning from the consequences of Earthfall, but no less loved because of that. Exhausted, I sit down on the cold floor of the laboratory. Did my entire long elven life looking for something that turned out to be useless. I didn't understand what really mattered to me. Golarion, such as it was before Earthfall, does not exist anymore. But there is another, new Golarion, a young one, surviving, fighting for its life. Wait, what? He connected two Golarions? What did he... Oh, a past Golarion, or what? By connecting it with another plane, I would have destroyed the new Golarion, making it an extension of the other. Oh, no. Okay. So So his new Golarion is just a Golarion he doesn't know. It's what became of Golarion after the Earthfall, making it an extension of the other plane. Instead of trying to save old Golarion, I should have helped the new one. I was supposed to preserve the memory of old Golarion, to gather the knowledge and heritage of the lost civilizations, and give them to the new world when it needs them. For at some point, it will rise from the ashes without any help. I believe this now, and deep down I always have. Well, it makes sense that he became a storyteller then. So that's how you lost your sight. Looks like it. The storyteller chuckles faintly. I still see only this purple flame. After so many years, it has become quite dear to me. You almost opened the world wound. Storyteller nods sadly. You are right. It would have been a terrible crime against Golarion. A murder. At the time, it was much weaker than it is now. It wouldn't have been able to resist the demonic invasion. Luckily, I was wise enough to stop before it was too late. Please continue. Rise, elf. This is not the end. The masterful voice seems to ring in my head. The silhouette of an angel appears in the flame. Purple flames are reflected in her gleaming steel armor. She has no face, just two fiery eyes burning deep into the steel hood. Rise, elf, rise and bow to the will of Pharasma. Storyteller's voice changes subtly, becoming loud and adamant. Rejoice, elf, for the Lady of the Graves has deemed you worthy. You pursued your goal despite the opinions of those around you and even fate itself. But you managed to stay your hand once you realized your mistake. You saved Golarion from yourself. For this, the Lady of Graves wants to give you a gift. We will become her usher, an immortal psychopomp. You what? Psychopomp? What's that kind of name? You will take a place at my lady's side and become the keeper of history. What? Not just for Golarion, but for all the planes. In return, Pharasma requires one thing. Tear up your bark-covered notebook. Let the knowledge you obtained remain a secret for many generations of Golarions after you. Storyteller gulps involuntarily. Pharasma herself sent a herald to me for the first time in my life. I, the last Archmage of Kionin, who proudly looked into the eyes of demon lords, feel unsure. My hands feels for the notebook on the floor, my fingers run over the tree bark cover lovingly. I don't need eyes to recognize it. I know all its cracks and bumps. It's like my child, the only meaning of my meaningless life. I don't want to destroy it. I can't find it in me to obey the order of the Lady of Graves. You refused Pharasma herself? Storyteller tries to smile. And I did a stupid thing, didn't I? I, the last Archmage of Kionin, was just a fool who had lost his purpose in life, and then dared to disobey a goddess. If I were her, I'd have ordered the herald to destroy the deranged old man. Tell me about the herald Pharasma sent to you. The steward of the skein, warrior and herald of Pharasma's will. The Lady of Graves sends her to restore the balance of fate and also to pronounce the great prophecy. Her interference in the fates of the world is almost imperceptible, only if you remember meeting her. Don't eternal life and serving Pharasma merit the destruction of such dangerous knowledge? The storyteller remains quiet for a long while, gathering his thoughts. My mind wants to say yes. I should have destroyed my dangerous notes that could have ruined Golarion, but my heart says the opposite. For this knowledge is also part of old Golarion's heritage. I, a child of that lost world, created in my reckless pride. I want to preserve all Golarion's heritage. Do I have the right to choose which part of this heritage should be wiped out of history? It will not be wiped out. You will survive, man. You can write the notebook again. Oh, stupid. If you would have become the storyteller or historian for the entirety of reality, you could have easily preserved all the knowledge and later tried to convince Pharasma, as one of her side lackeys, to help Golarion. I mean, you gave away... you're still alive. You wrote that notebook, so what stops you from rewriting it? That was a stupid choice. Elves. I'm ready to undergo any punishment for my refusal, but the steward of the skein only looks at me quietly as if pondering something. The knowledge in your hands must not see the light. This is beyond question, but my lady is merciful and has agreed to make concessions. You will tear the pages out of your notebook, and along with it, out of your memory. Ah, the Elven notes. You will scatter the pages throughout the world, and your memory will be purged. You will be immortal but pure, like a newborn baby. Use your new life to keep the memory of the fallen and seek the truth about your own past. As soon as you remember this moment, you will lose your immortality and will have to answer my question again. Oh, will you choose to become a servant of Our Lady, or will you prefer to live out the short time you have left? I find no strength to answer and only nod. The steward raises her hand, and whoa, are we going to meet Pharasma now? And we both find ourselves in a whirlwind. I see nothing but the purple flame and the glowing image of the herald. But the rest of my senses tell me we are rushing through many places. I hear seagulls crying and smell the salty ocean air, followed by the rumble of the raging volcano. The bracing wind of the plains changes to the dry heat of a desert, and then the blistering cold of a snowy mountain top. In each of these places I tear out a page and give it to the wind. It grabs the new toy from my hands and takes it far away to hide from me for many years. With every torn page I start to forget. What did I do in the Ivory Labyrinth? Why did I live in Alushinira, and indeed did I ever live there? The name Kaini seems vaguely familiar, but I don't remember why it should mean something to me. Maybe it was my own name? Exhausted, I fall down on the withered grass. I remember. This is how the woods of my home Kionin used to smell. My mind drowns in the darkness. I don't see the steward any longer, but I still hear her voice. Look for your past, elf, and gather the stories of Golarion, for this is your calling. I name you the Storyteller. When you remember this moment, destroy the dangerous knowledge that has once again fallen into your hands, and Pharasma will see you in her halls. And you, Morgraine, help him with this. Help him make the right choice. Wait, what? In the past, she knew the future? The old man drops on his knees, his hands clasp the bark-covered notebook to his chest. His voice trembles. What should I do, Morgraine? Gathered the stories of Golarion for so long, looking for my past, and now I have found it. Should I accept Pharasma's proposal and be reborn, or refuse and die? Do we have to decide right now? I'm afraid so. Storyteller smiles awkwardly. I feel Pharasma's heavy, silent gaze. She is studying me, evaluating my decisions. She is waiting for my reply. Storyteller lowers his head awkwardly. Forgive me for burdening you with this and asking for your advice. What do you want? Oh, if only I could answer this question. The elf chuckles jealously. It would be safe to assume several thousand years would be enough to make a single decision, but obviously the last Archmage of Kionin is also the most indecisive creature on all the planets of the world. So then you got your name, Storyteller, from Pharasma? I suppose so. As for my real name, the Storyteller smiles faintly. I remembered it, the name of the last Archmage of Kionin. An old, unwanted, unassuming name. It doesn't suit me anymore. I'm the Storyteller, and I would like to remain so until the end of my days. What will happen if you accept Pharasma's proposal? I will die and be reborn in a new guise and join the servants of the Lady of Graves. The secret and dangerous knowledge of how to merge the planes of the world will die with me. I'm free to live out the time I have left. A few years' fate has in store for me. When they pass, I will die, and then enter Pharasma's halls and give her my oath properly. What will happen if you reject Pharasma's proposal? I will stay here. I will keep my secret knowledge to hide it in the most far away and safest place I can find. My age will catch up with me gradually, but I think I still have a few years to write books of the stories I have gathered, or tell them to someone I will take on as an apprentice. As you see, any choice means a prompt death for me, but I am not afraid. I, having seen the death of thousands of civilizations and outlived time itself, know better than many what's enough. One moment. So, I used the phone. No reward would be enough for my help. Check your miscellaneous. Okay. If you tell him to fuck off to Pharasma, he gives it to you one step sooner in the quest chain. A blank page. Ah, okay. As already said, knowledge must be preserved. Dude, if you become the whatever of the goddess, you're still alive. If you die, you're just gone. That's just stupid. Except for Esma's proposal, you must destroy the dangerous knowledge. You are right. After so many years, I should have realized how dangerous knowledge can be. Pages in the storyteller's hands crumble to ash. The elf raises his hands to his face, as if trying to see the knowledge turn to dust, but then he chuckles and shakes the ashes off. Well, that's it. Game ending, what? Now everything is over. I know my story, the one I yearned to know all these years, and that I had once hidden from myself. And all this is because of you. Thank you. You've given me the greatest possible gift, myself. No reward can measure up to your merits, but still, please accept from me a grain of the knowledge that you've helped me to discover. Damn. Your past. Okay. Wish you interesting adventures. So... that's it? Apparently. All items. Stand here, bang. Stand here, bang. So now we have a problem called... we haven't finished the Lexicon of Paradox. We have page 2, but she has page 1 still. And for some odd reason now we can't get it back. So, I've put together Lexicon of Paradox, blank page. Here's the Lexicon of Paradox. How do I find it? Damn this name. Okay. Notable. Under L. ABC. Wait. Bloodstained. Oh, it's from bottom to top. L. Letter. Key. Letter. Lexicon of Paradox Part 2. Okay. Do we also have a blank page? Acorn pie, almost new diary, loaded cheese, bloodstained letter, conflagrant tattoo, crumbled note. So that's a bit of a problem. Some odd reason. We lack the most important ingredient of all. Maybe I can use it. Focus on the text. Yeah, set aside. We need the other part of the Lexicon of Paradox. Let's see if I can get it by other means, called Crusade Search and Pick. Paradox. Lexicon Part 1. The nature of rift. Ed. Done. And we need a blank page. Blank. About Titan. That doesn't seem right. Blank page. Secret page. A blank page torn from an ancient notebook. Okay. Perfect. Now let's save this and let's see if we can combine the Lexicon of Paradox. There you are. Lexicon of Paradox. Use. Yes. Place the blank page from the Storyteller's book between the two halves of the lexicon. Blank page obtained from the Storyteller fits seamlessly between the two halves of the lexicon, as if it was always meant to be there, as if this page had once been found by Volesh, who saw its hidden potential and used the Storyteller's knowledge, lost in the depth of time, as the foundation for developing the process to open the world wound. After a moment, words begin to appear on the once blank page, words that have shifted there from the two halves of the book. These words form phrases that reveal the precious secrets of a lexicon of paradox. The transformation process was initially conceived by me as a power source. However, in the course of my experiments, I learned that it partially solved the problem of the slow demise of the key. Oh, now it gets interesting. Kids, listen. The power that manifests after transformation, I am almost certain the mortals will devise some overblown names for it, like mythic or legendary, serves as an effective shield against the poisonous influence of the wound. Problems arise when it is used. When the power is expended, for instance in combat, the shield is weakened and the infiltrating emanations of the wound strike the key, wounding it and robbing it of its life force. The problem is immaterial in comparison to the second. The power increase after a transformation is not infinite, nor is its protective effect. I managed to stave off the death of the key for several decades, but even despite achieving the extreme level of power bestowed by the transformation, at some point the key's protection will weaken. The world wound will prevail and consume the soul of the key. I must admit that my research has come to a dead end. I have developed the power of the transformation process to its very limit, and I have failed to find a way to completely cure the wound's effect, except for extreme measures. At this, the secret writings of Volesh come to an end. Whatever their significance, their contents will undoubtedly be of use to the commander in the future. As if reading the commander's thoughts, the lexicon separates into two halves once more. Well, that's quite interesting. So, do we have the etude now that we need? Called have put the Lexicon of Paradox together? It's called Lexicon True. Active. Okay, perfect. So we've done everything that we had. Two. Banner project, Faith in Father. Okay. Well, then we're done. We have all the hard requirements. We can now, if everything goes right, do the normal ending and the secret ending. After... okay. Threshold after putting paradox together. Okay.
Follow if you dare.
So you might have noticed it took a bit of cheating / modding, since this conversation with Hepsamiro we didn't have, and for some odd reason, even though a Reddit thread claimed it's possible, Godfrey didn't give us back the first page, the first half of the lexicon. I'm not sure why. We had exhausted all dialogue options, so that was a bit odd. But aside from that, we did pretty well, even though, and what we didn't have was the player knows that Aurelio cares about Stitch for some odd reason, even though we are omnipotently powerful. This Perception check didn't come. But aside from that, we now have all hard ending. And we also have... Do we have enough crystals? We should have enough crystals. I got us all the crystals that we were supposed to get from the Demon Lords. Wait, no filter, please. It should be somewhere here. Oh wait, no. We want a filter. Date from oldest to newest, yes. The newest down, good. And we should have the crystals. There you are, perfect. We have enough Nahinduin crystals and we have enough fresh Nahinduin crystals. Whatever we need, we have them. 2, 4, 6, 7, 7, perfect.
I'm off!
And it's a bit odd that the storyteller didn't give us the blank page. I guess we have to refuse to destroy the knowledge in order to get the blank page. Oh, never mind. Okay. Oh! They meant to harm you and you were kind to me. I hope I helped. Becoming more and more clear to me that the demons are a disease afflicting your plane and mine. I'm glad we can fight this pestilence together. And I guess this leads... Wait, that's a dead end. Okay, no, this leads to nowhere. I guess this way leads to Ariel of Volish. And next episode we're going for the end of this game.